Hi, Cindy Beyer here for our TikTok week workout. So if you haven't seen some of the other challenges that we've done this whole week, what I'm doing is I'm pulling out some of the best of TikTok that I have seen, and I'm breaking down some of the moves or some of the challenges to enable you to become stronger, develop strength, or be able to accomplish these if you do these workouts regularly. So one of the ones that really stood out to me personally was this hashtag stick challenge. And what it is people are using like a dowel of some sort. This has some rubber things on the ends. And it's pretty impressive. If you've ever seen someone do like the human flag or those types of body work only movements, they're really incredible. This one stood out because I was thinking, I wonder if I can do it. I can't go as low as many of those people that I see, especially men. I sat there and thought, I wonder how I personally could develop the ability to be strong enough to do it. So here's what it looks like. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you do it today. We're just going to do the moves that are required or helpful at building the strength that's required to do this move. What they're doing is they're putting a stick out in front of them. And you can laugh if I fall, but basically what they're doing is they're holding this out. Now granted, I'm not going to be able to do it beautifully well because they're much lower down than me. This is about the height, as you see I'm falling, that I can do it at, where you're holding this Superman position, and they're actually doing it much lower than that. All right, and trying to see, can they start low? So they'll go from low, then they'll come up, and they'll come up, and then come up. It's really challenging. But don't worry, I'm not going to make you do it today. What I'm going to take you through some of the moves that I felt that I needed to do to become stronger to do it. So the first move that we're going to do is we're going to work, it's all in the core, by the way. You might think it's in the arms, but it's on the core. So what we're going to do is we're going to work some of our core strength here. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to actually roll backwards here, all the way down. Our arms will be back over the head. You're going to drop your chin forward, roll yourself up just behind the tailbone. Lift the arms up. You want to make sure your spine is becoming lengthened in that process, right? Let's do about 5 more here, rolling up. My goal for you with all of these workouts is to help you develop the strength that you need to be able to do anything it is that you look at and go, you know, I want to see if I can do that. And also, if you're watching TikTok at any point in time after I've started showing you things and you think, I want to learn how to do that, how come I can't do that? Message me or place a comment on one of my YouTube videos anywhere you want and say, hey, have you seen this one? Can you do a video on this? I'm happy to do that. So what we're just doing there is we're working on some strength right to the core. All I did was about maybe 8. I don't count. So if in my comments you tell me you did more than 8, no problem at all. You're probably right. I did. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come face down. We can't just develop the abdominal strength rolling up because this move is in a face down position. So we're going to come here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a variety of different moves from this short plank position. So the first thing we're going to do is just lift our knees up. Lift them up here. Good. And then lower down. Let's do about 3 more. Just lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and down. 1 more here. Lifting up and lowering down. The next move that you're going to do is you're actually going to take one leg and lift that leg up behind you. And here's why. It's not just about the core strength here, but it's also the strength that you have in your glutes. So we need to develop the glute strength. So rather than holding a full plank to do this, we're going to do this in a short plank position here so that we have the ability to develop that glute strength and target that glute. So what you're going to do from here is you're just going to take one leg lift. My other knee is down, and I'm going to push that leg up, and I'm going to pull it down. What I'm doing here is I'm really activating into my glutes to extend my hip back and then lower down. Try about 3 more and down, 2 more lift and lower. I know they might seem easy compared to trying that stick challenge. 1 more here and down. However, trust me, if you want to be able to do it, you're going to have to develop those little Those smaller muscles or those different groups that might not be strong or active enough in order to do it. So you might be thinking, man, I'm only trying to work the leg that's moving. If you stick around with me long enough, you'll know that that's not the case. What we're doing is we're also strengthening the glute on the leg that's down. 3, 2 more here. 2, down, 1 more here, and down. Very nice. Take that other leg, lift it up here. So instead of going here, what we're going to do from here is we're going to lift the hip to the side and come back down. We're going to lift it out to the side and down. Imagine you're a dog and there's a tree or a fire hydrant that you've decided is where you want to place your mark. Good. Other side. So I'm going to lift my leg up. I'm going to turn it to the side and lower it down. If you want more of a challenge with this, here's what I would suggest. Wrap a band around both legs, and then you're pressing up and down into the band. But don't worry if you don't have a band. This is hard enough. Come back down. Very nice. Lift the back leg up again. So we're going to lift it up, lower it down. We're going to combine the two. Open to the side and back down. So we're going to lift up and lower, open, close. 2 more. Up, down, out, and in. Last one. Up, down, out, and in. Other side. We're going to lift it up. We're going to lower it down. You don't have to lift the leg very high. Just a little bit behind your body is all you need to activate that glute. 2 more here. Lift, lower, open, close. Last one. Up, down, open, close, and then rest there. Now, what we're going to do from here is we're going to move down into our stomach, onto our stomach type of position. We're going to continue to work those glutes. We're going to come all the way down onto the floor here. We're going to widen the legs from here and turn out at the hips. Then what we're going to do from here is we're going to lift the legs up and then lower them down. Your head should be falling down onto the floor. Lift and lower. What we're doing again is we're trying to activate those glutes to promote that hip extension as opposed to it just being into the lower back. You're going to lift up and lower down. Now lift them up here, open them to the side, lower them down, bring them together. So we lift, open, lower, together. 2 more. Remember why we're doing this. If you're just joining us now, I thank you for coming in, even if it's last minute. What we're doing is we're increasing the muscles that are required to be active. 1 more here. When you're doing the hashtag stick challenge in TikTok, open the legs out first, lift them up, bring them together, lower down, open, lift, together, and lower. 2 more. Open, lift, together. You don't need them just for the stick challenge. They're great muscles to have active to do just about anything. Go ahead and rest here. If you have any tightness in your lower back, feel free to press up and shift back from there at any point in time. Very nice. Now let's lower back down. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work into a back extension. So our hips are going to be wider. In yoga, I think this goes into what they refer to as cobra. In Pilates, it's like a swan dive. Same type of move. We're going into back extension, really grabbing into these glutes to do it. So what I want you to do from here is lift, not really high, just come up and lower down. Why am I not going all the way up? Because when I do the stick challenge, I'm not trying to go into a back bend. I'm just trying to use this back line of my body all the way down into my glutes and my hamstrings to help with the lift. Very nice. Now bring the hands straight back, legs are together. I'm going to do that same move, lifting up and lowering down. This is harder to get my glutes to activate, so I really need to think of my inner thighs in this process. Do 2 more up and down, 1 more up and down. From here, press up and push back from here. Okay, now the last 2 moves that we're going to do are to help really strengthen the muscles that wrap from the side of the body all around to the front. Serratus anterior, that's kind of up here, closer to the ribs, that pull the back around to the front, and your obliques. So what we're going to do is we're going to do side planks. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do them onto our forearm, our hand with our arm fully straight. So I'm going to lock my feet together. And what we're going to do is we're going to push up from here. We did these before. And you're just going to hold this position, right? And come down. Now, if you can't get up there, don't worry. I always have another option. You can keep this bottom leg down and you can come up like so, right? This is still working. Wow, that's working my glutes like crazy as I do that. That's a perfectly fine option. You can go into the full side plank or you can stay here. I'm going to do about 2 more here. And then I'm going to show you the next portion of this move. And then we're going to add those 2 together and I'll show it to you as well in a full side plank. So now in this move, the next portion is going to add this little rotation in once we're in that side plank. So I'm going to have you lift up here. Now from here, you're going to act like you're doing a stomach crunch forward, but then rotate under, reaching that hand towards the other elbow or underneath your body, and then back out, and then come down. We're really activating into the obliques as we do that. So we're going to turn and rotate. Come back to the side and lower down. Do 1 more here. Up, turn to rotate, back to the side and down. We're going to do it on the other side. Now again, this can all be done in a full plank or stay down. On this side, I'm going to do it in the full plank, but of course I'm choosing my weaker side to do that on. So if you want to, you can keep your knee down or you can come up with me as I'm going to challenge my own self into a full plank, full side plank. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to lift and then I'm going to lower down. Again, if you keep your knee down, that whole side of your leg just stays down in the process. I'm going to lift up, hold, and then come down. We're really activating into those obliques on that side. That's on the bottom side. Do 2 more and then we'll add that rotation in. And then down. 1 more. You always have a choice of which level you want to do. Now we're going to add that rotation in 4 times. Remember, we're going to rotate under through here. And still, if you struggle to even come up on that knee, don't worry. You can just practice being in this position, coming from here to here. All right? And you can just practice that rotation right here. You'll start to develop those obliques and the strength of those, activating them. All right, ready to go? We got 4 to go. We're going to come up. Then from here, we're going to turn and rotate down. I'm really firing into my obliques in that process. I'm going to come down in between each one. Why? So I can reposition myself properly with each individual move from start to finish is in what's the word I want to use? It's in the appropriate order of muscle firing pattern. All right, it was kind of poor English, I'm sorry. We want to activate the muscles in the right order at the right time from start to finish. That's what I wanted to say. Come up. We're going to come up. We're going to rotate under. And then we're going to come back to the side and go down. Let's just do 2 more. We're going to come up and rotate under. Come back to the side. I'm wobbling. This is my weaker side. 1 more here. Lift up. I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, she's not really that weak. But yeah, I know where my weaker sides are. And every one of you eventually will start to pick out specific moves that are harder for you. And if you have any of those moves that are specifically hard for you, feel free to comment. Anywhere on my YouTube comments, you can send me a private message on Facebook. Ask me those questions because I'd be more than happy to answer your questions in an upcoming video. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me in our stick plank challenge as we get ready and prepared and strengthen our body to be able to perform that move. Take care.